Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for being here tonight. I took a really long, hard look at myself in the mirror before I came out here tonight, you guys. And I realized that I just look like Peter Parker if he was bitten by an ordinary spider. That's where we are. There's no powers or strength or abilities. There's just me wishing that puberty would end. Or give me a fifth chest hair. I do some good news, you guys. I got cast for a porn movie recently. You sick freaks. But the thing is, I don't know if this porn movie is going to make me a porn star or just a porn character actor. Because I read the script, and in the script it has me going up to the house of this extremely beautiful woman, and I knock on the door. She opens the door. She's wearing next to nothing. I say hi. I walk past her. I sit down at this desk. I clear all of this malware off of her computer. And as I walk out, I high-five the good-looking guy who's coming in to have sex with her. And puberty has done more with you, sir. I was at Best Buy the other day. I was just looking for some DVDs to buy, and I noticed something weird. I went over there, and I noticed they were selling the first 4 Paranormal Activity movies together, and they were being bundled as the White People Have Problems 2 collection. They also threw in a free copy of Dunkirk. It was nice of them. I'm kind of just... I love video games, but I feel like video games make me into a bit of a jerk at times. Like, whenever my friends who are couples, whenever they post that they had a brand new baby on Facebook, they post the first pictures, and they get like 600 just adoring, wonderful comments. It's like, okay, this is Angela Lee Davis. She was 8 pounds, 6 ounces. Both mother and child are doing well. And there's like 600 messages that are like, oh, she's beautiful, she's a miracle, she's an angel. And my comment is usually just like, yeah, congratulations on the expansion pack. Yeah, look who ran out of anything to talk about with their spouse. Look who just raised their life's difficulty level from easy to nightmare. Just, yeah. I'm checking this. I'm watching my friends sort of reproduce on Facebook, which sounds creepy. No, I'm watching my friends, and like sometimes your friends are giving birth to this inordinate number of children. Like they now have like 3, 4, 5 kids, and you know, like good for them. But I'm also thinking there's like finite resources. Like they're having all these kids, and apparently they reclassified the vagina in the relationship as an Irish Catholic water slide. I'll let that sink in. And like, they're there, and there's only so many resources. Like, you can't send all of these kids to Harvard and space camp. And I think the fairest thing that you can do is just take all your small children, gather them together in the SUV or minivan, drive out, go to an old school video arcade, open the doors, let them run out. Don't give them any quarters. Let them run up to their favorite shiny video game. Let them pound on the buttons and wave the joystick. And whichever child actually figures out that they're not actually playing the game first, that kid gets to go to college. The rest can work at Chipotle. I was on Facebook the other day, and I was just, one of my friends, she posted something. She posted about her kid, and she's got a good life. She's got a good job, good marriage, a couple beautiful kids. She posted, oh my God, I just found my 11-year-old son looking at porn online. What do I do, you guys? What do I do? I was thinking about this. I would respect that kid's decision. I would set aside a computer and a space for them to do this in. I would print out a 2-page list of tested and functioning adult URLs. And I would make sure that that computer was attached to the slowest functioning dial-up modem I could find. Because my pain from the 90s should be felt by my children. Just the pain and the chafing and the loneliness and the tears and yeah. This may be a little dark and it may be a little personal, but does anyone else here feel that manatees are just really fat, lazy stoner dolphins, or... That's just me. I don't know about you guys. I'm sort of interested in the Space Force. I'm a little bit excited about it. I went over to the Space Force Wikipedia page, and it's so brand new, it's almost blank. There's almost no history. So I opened up the history, and I started posting in StarCraft fan fiction. And that's when the Protoss betrayed us. I had a date recently, and when I say recently, I mean a couple years ago, and it lasted for 12 minutes. It gets worse. What happened was I was using, my free OkCupid account, to the absolute limit, and I met this girl, and we started talking and messaging back and forth, and we decided, hey, let's meet up and walk around a lake, and if we get along, we'll get, food and drinks, and we'll see how we get along. But she hadn't told me what she did for a living, so when she showed up, I asked what she did for a living, and she said, oh, I just got into this grad teaching program. I'm like, oh, that's cool, and I started talking about how I sometimes teach video game design workshops to middle schoolers, and I start describing this, and at a certain point as we're walking, she just turns around and she has a look in her eye like she realized that the sun is a dying star and that winter is coming and her village may not survive the winter. And she just said, I can't do this. I hate video games. They don't tell a story. They don't serve a purpose. And she started walking towards her car. And part of me felt like, I'm a monster. She hates me. But another part of me, after I looked at my watch and realized 12 minutes had passed, I said to myself, I could have shaved off at least 4 minutes if I'd shown up dressed as Bowser from Super Mario Brothers. I was talking with one of my female friends on the phone recently, and she was complaining because, white women, and we're near Baltimore, it's gonna work. She was saying, I just broke up with my boyfriend, I'm kind of horny, I don't know what to do. And I was like, you could have sex with me, and she's just like, no. And I was like, well, why don't you masturbate? Why don't you take care of it? And she's just like, oh, that's just a process. It takes forever. And I'm like, why would it take forever? Like, why is female masturbation that complicated? And she's like, oh, there's all these steps involved. Like, first you gotta get in the right mood. Then you gotta put on the right music. Blackstreet's No Diggity, followed by Purple Rain. Then you gotta put on the Dirty Dancing lift sequence on a loop on your iPad. Then you gotta put 46 IKEA tea light candles lit and evenly spread around the room. Then it takes like 40 minutes from there. And that was the moment where I was glad that I'm a guy, because I can just walk into the utility closet at Whole Foods and think about She-Hulk for 3 minutes. Then I'm done. And I walk out smoking 3 cigarettes. I don't know if any of you guys have had horrible roommates. Anyone? Yeah, right now. No. I lived with a screaming alt-right lunatic for 17 months, and he worked the morning shift at Starbucks. He opened Starbucks. So the morning routine was he'd hop into the shower, which was right next to my bedroom, at 5 in the morning, and he'd put his phone down on the sink, and he'd either be playing, alt-right podcasts or video game podcasts. And unfortunately, these things at 5 in the morning start blending together in your mind. So I'd wake up and I'd just be like, why doesn't Sonic trust the Jews? Or why does Pac-Man think that 3/5 of a vote is plenty? Or why does Luigi keep screaming that I'm a beta cuck over and over? And anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for having us.